Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is The Big Picture. We do this every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time. Thank you for joining us. My name is Jim Gonsalon. I've been with the company, the Juice Plus Company, for 35 years. We have this on Saturday morning for new people to get a sense of what Juice Plus is all about. And you'll hear about our special product, Luminate, this morning. It's also for those of us that are part of our business to bring new guests and learn more about what we do. Saturday morning is always an opportunity to visit. Technology has allowed us to meet this way on Zoom, which is very convenient. We got people from Canada, all over the country. We often have people from Mexico and even overseas. The Juice Press Company has been in business now for 55 years. Jay Martin started the company in 1969 actually, and Jay Martin set a pace for us that's still being maintained. Travis Garza is now our CEO, worldwide CEO. We're in 25 countries, expanding all the time. We've done over $16 billion in business. Why do I say that? All that being established, we're looking for help. And Lex is going to paint a picture for us with Carrie interviewing her this morning about why we're so excited about Luminate. Carrie, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
Jimmy, thank you so much. Well, everyone that's listening in, bear with us. I mean, I'm in a position with Mickey and I, we're doing some remodeling at the house. So we got contractors in and out of the house. We got dogs running around loose. So we decided we just sit out here in the heat out by the pool. And we've got an internet connection. Now, I want all of you to know that if we get a disconnect here, I'm going to pass that baton over to Jimmy Gonsalon. He's going to finish everything up with Alexa. But today's a special day. I mean, I'm excited. I met this young lady. I think she might have been 19 years old. I could be wrong, but she'll correct me in a few minutes. When Mickey and I originally met her. And we've always been pretty much infatuated with her work ethic. And on top of that, how studious she is. When she has a project to go after, she goes after it wholeheartedly. But I want you to listen very carefully. I made a few notes because today we want to get inside this mind of a 26-year-old. You know, she's gone from competitive tennis courts on a regular basis to the weightlifting platform, and now to motherhood and what I call a mental wellness advocacy. Alexa has a degree, a major in clinical psychology. She lives in Arizona, and we're fortunate to have her here on The Big Picture. Now, I don't know if you're real aware, but clinical psychologists do a lot of research, and she's one of those graduates that has actually done a lot of research, especially with Juice Plus and what our new products that we've recently come out with, the superfoods and Luminate. She's a former, as I said, collegiate tennis athlete. Now, she's going to be a little humble about this, but this girl's the real deal when it comes to tennis. She's for real. And she's an elite powerlifter. I mean, really strong, amazing. She now channels her focus into helping others achieve what I call mental clarity and personal balance. She's also a passionate believer in one of the most exciting new additions to the Juice Plus whole food line. She loves the Luminate. I call it a cutting-edge, plant-based formula designed to support mental clarity, focus, and sustain energy like nothing else on the market. Alexa calls Luminate a game changer for everyday focus and vitality. Her journey through psychology, performance, and motherhood, you can hear more about that today. So we're going to start off, Alexa, if you don't mind. Now that we've introduced you to this audience, let's dive into your thoughts and mind and hear, as an elite collegiate athlete and a 26-year-old still works out on a regular basis, how did you get started with the Juice Plus company? And am I correct in saying you're 26 years old? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you are definitely correct. Hi, everybody. And you were also correct. You did meet me when I was 19, which feels like ages ago. I have been through so many seasons of life. But yes, such a warm intro. And He definitely likes to hype me up a little bit more on my accolades than I do. However, over the past now 6.5 years, I have been with the Juice Plus company, and he is correct when I said 26. Back when I was 19, I was introduced to the company by Victoria and Patrick Van Duzy, who are on this call somewhere. But I met Victoria over social media, and she introduced me to both the products and the business. And at that point, I was just a college athlete, a college kid who definitely was not getting the nutrients that I needed at my age or as an athlete. And the business was something that just seemed bigger than me and bigger than just my career post school, I should say. So I was immediately hooked on the vision of the business and the credibility of the products. And I've gone from there.
Well, things have changed a lot since then, of course. Collegiate athlete, as I said, known for your tennis game and an elite power lifter. Where did you go to college, by the way?
I went to college at Lafayette College in Easton, Pennsylvania.
So from Arizona all the way to Eastern Pennsylvania. And that was a tennis scholarship, am I correct?
Correct.
Well, today you're a mom. How has Juice Plus fit into the equation during this transition? Do you look at Juice Plus a little differently?
Yes. So, like I said, I've been through so many seasons of life over the past almost 7 years, from college athlete and college kid to post-college, not really knowing what I was going to do, to powerlifter, to pregnant and mom. So it's been a lot of crazy shifts, all great shifts, but a lot of different shifts. And truly, in the past 6.5 years, the most consistent thing in my life has been the Juice Plus products. So no matter the season of life I've been in, it's something that's always made sense because sure, seasons of life, I've been through different things, but I've always wanted to achieve a healthier life, a better way of eating, and Juice Plus molds into that perfectly. Just the simplicity of it and the no-brainer concept to fruits, veggies, and berries in capsules. I'm the capsule fan, but in gummies and drinks, drink powder as well. So it just has always made sense, and I truly don't think I have missed more than maybe 5 days in the past 6.5 years of taking Juice Plus. And same thing with the business. I've loved the business component because through every season of life, I've been able to pour into it or take a step back from it. Just because, sometimes life gets crazy, but that never changed what I saw in the business. It just allowed me to be flexible with the business. So it's always been here.
Well, for everyone that's listening in the last 6 months, I want to acknowledge you because as we come out with these new incentives, you keep calling and saying, "Hey, Carrie, I'm going to hit these. I'm going to hit these," and you keep hitting them. I got to give it to you. So you've got your game on right now. You've been doing a phenomenal job.
Thank you. Momentum is a big friend of mine.
Well, that's the athlete in you. You like to compete.
Yes. Yes.
Now, one of our newest product additions, of course, is the one that you fell in love with, Luminate. As you describe it, you call it an innovative drink that you feel is reshaping the energy drink industry. Now, if you don't mind, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're the clinical psychologist here, you're the researcher. Okay. Would you mind sharing your thoughts about the ingredients? I'm gonna try to say what they are, and if I say them incorrectly or pronounce them wrong, could you correct me, please? Don't mind.
Yeah.
Coffee berry, I can do that one. Coffee berry, one ingredient. Ashwagandha. Am I saying that right?
Yes, you are.
Cordyceps, mushroom,
Yes. Cordyceps.
cordyceps, mushroom mycelium. Is that right?
Mycelium. Mm-hmm.
Rhodelia root. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Lion's mane. I got that one. That's an easy one. Alpinia galango root. Wow. So
Mhm.
this is interesting. You know, we're a plant food company. It's all from plants. Everything's from plants. It's so different than anything out there. Now, I know as a researcher, as a clinical psychologist major, you've spoken to me about the uniqueness of these ingredients. Am I putting you on the spot by asking you those questions, or can you help me out a little bit or help the crowd out?
I do not mind being put on the spot. You're right. As a clinical psychologist and studying psychology specifically since high school, even research has always been something that I've been very consistent with. I haven't always loved to do research. You know, we always had those school projects that we didn't love to do but had to do. So I know you can all relate to me there, but research has been something I've been very fond of just because I guess my brain just works that way. I love numbers, I love facts, I love science, and actually getting to see a research study from how the researcher envisioned it all the way down to this is how we did it to this is the group or the participants within it. This is how it worked, and these are the results. I just love the process of it. And I think it's just been one of my little nerdy pastimes now that whenever I become so interested or influenced by something, I want to actually understand it, not just for my own sake, of course, but also to be able to share it. But of course, for my own sake, you know, I want to be confident in what I'm choosing for my life. And if I choose to share it, I want to actually be able to back up what I'm saying and not just base things off of pure anecdote. So yeah, Juice Plus Luminate is I'm so in love with it. I've truly become so hooked on it over the past few months, especially. And the ingredients are really cool. And I don't think some of them truly get enough hype because, for example, you said ashwagandha and lion's mane. In the fitness industry specifically, where I have made my home, those are very popular buzzwords these days, just because they have become very popular over the past 3 to 5 years. So I think those get a lot of hype, which they should. They're awesome. Ashwagandha specifically gets so much love because in the research I've done and just what it's known for, it's been really well known now for reducing stress and anxiety in our body and helping to reduce cortisol levels. Then lion's mane, which is somewhat similar, but also works with ashwagandha. It's known better for its benefits within performance levels, so that's why it's very popular within the fitness industry. And it's also a really good prebiotic. So, fun fact, a little bit of gut health there. But then I honestly think everything else doesn't get enough hype just because they don't have the buzzword associated with them, like ashwagandha and lion's mane. So you said cordyceps. Cordyceps I love because they help aid in the utilization of oxygen within our body. So I might get into some larger terms here, but they can help increase our VO2 max, which is associated with cardiovascular health. It's associated with blood flow to our muscles, healthy fluids, all of that, which I will go a little bit deeper into. We have, I know you didn't mention this one, but sage leaf extract and sage essential oil. Sage is unique because it's the sage leaf itself is loaded with antioxidants, which can actually help buffer the brain defense system, which then helps improve our memory. So that one's really good for the cognitive benefits within Luminate. Same with the essential oil. That's going to be more towards the digestive aid of the antioxidants within sage. And it can help reduce inflammation, which you'll see as a trend within these ingredients. Then we have rhodiola rosea. That one is an adaptogen. I'm sure you guys have heard the words adaptogen and nootropics pretty often now. Adaptogens, pretty simply, it's adapt. It's the ability for something to help adapt to a stressful stimulus within our environment. So, rhodiola rosea, being an adaptogen, helps suppress the release of cortisol, just like ashwagandha does, and helps to regulate our nervous system as well when under stress, specifically. Then you said um, Alpinia galanga. There's a lot of different ways to pronounce that one, I will say. So you're not wrong. That one is also going to be an anti-inflammatory and a digestive aid. So it can actually help stimulate the production of digestive enzymes within our gut And if y'all don't know, the gut helps rule a lot of our body. So if you have a good gut microbiome, the rest of your body will show that as well. Coffee berry. Oh my gosh, we love coffee berry because who doesn't love some caffeine? Coffee berry, though, when we actually take the entire plant, the entire coffee berry, rather than just the coffee bean, we get so many more antioxidants and polyphenols, which then help prevent things such as oxidative stress in our body, which is linked to chronic illness. And then a specific polyphenol, I have this written down. Chlorogenic acid may reduce blood pressure, which actually could increase blood flow, which I heard you sure heard me say blood flow earlier as well. So there's a little crossover, but helps to increase blood flow in the body as well, which is going to be equally healing. And then this one, it's not going to be in our staple list of ingredients, but we have beet juice powder in Luminate. And I wanted to give this one a little bit of recognition too, because beet juice powder is also becoming popular within the fitness industry because it has nitrates in it. And nitrates specifically are known for aiding in blood flow and oxygen delivery. So I know they're not on our like main list, but to me, beet juice powder is a big one to recognize as well because beet juice is known for its aid in blood flow and oxygen delivery. So a lot of this was based off of my own research. I looked at all of this as best as I could. Some of this is also well known, like I said, well known or known for. But yeah, that's pretty much a very quick summary of the Juice Plus Luminate ingredients.
Well, I wanted to bring that up. I know in our mastermind session when you and I are speaking, you were talking about a lot of the ingredients in past conversations, and I was like, "Wow, man, I didn't really understand all that, quite honestly." And I appreciate you teaching me that. So, everyone listening in, we're going into the mind of a 26-year-old with this information. This is amazing. I got a good question for you. You brought this up in one of our conversations that we had. Give me your thoughts as to why you feel, you've always brought this up, there's no crash with Luminate. Do you mind
Yeah,
about that?
this one's pretty cool. So when it comes to, I'll nerd out real quick for you guys. When it comes to caffeine in a general sense, all chemicals in the world have this thing called a half-life. So if you ever took chemistry, you know what a half-life is, and you hated having to, what's it called, calculate that number. However, caffeine has a pretty simple one. Caffeine has a half-life of 12 hours. What that means is from the minute, so it's 8:30 for me this morning, when I consume caffeine, 12 hours later, half of that amount of caffeine will still be flowing through my system. So your average energy drink has anywhere from 100 to 200 milligrams of caffeine. Your average pre-workout has anywhere from, oh my goodness, 150 to 350 milligrams of caffeine. So if I were to take a pre-workout, which used to be my go-to, I would have 150 milligrams of caffeine, maybe 12 hours later in my system. So it would be 8 p.m., maybe, and I would have a lot of caffeine in my system still. But with Luminate, there's only 80 milligrams of caffeine. So if we do the math, 12 hours later, I will only have 40 milligrams caffeine. Another standard is a cup of coffee has about 100 milligrams caffeine for reference if you're not an energy drink or pre-workout person. But when we have such an excess of caffeine in our system, 12 hours later, our body is still under the influence of a stimulant. And you may not feel it like you did when you were originally consuming it, obviously, because it's half as much. It is still actively affecting your system by increasing your, what's it called, heart rate. Increasing your heart rate. It is increasing your body temperature. It's doing these things. It's doing what caffeine does to give you the jitters, keep you awake, keep you stimulated. So that, once our body comes down from that after 12 hours, that reduction of such a significant amount can relate to a crash feeling. So when we take Juice Plus, a lot of people say they don't feel the crash. And that's because we're already starting with not so much caffeine and then reducing it by only so little, from 80 down to 40, compared to a 300 down to 150. And our body doesn't have to regulate itself as much. It's just so slightly stimulated. So that's the nice feeling that I think with Luminate, is that you can take it at any time of day and know that you're not going to be over or understimulated throughout the period of taking it and 12 hours afterwards. So hopefully that all made sense.
Well, it does. You know, I'm learning a lot today, and why is regulating our nervous system important, and how does Luminate aid in that? Maybe just real quickly, your thoughts on that. I don't want anyone to think that we want to diagnose, treat, or cure, or prevent any disease. We're not here to be able to deliver that message. I just want to delve into your mind and kind of get your thoughts on why you personally feel that regulating our nervous system and how Luminate fits into that. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, of course. Now, this is the nervous system stuff is some of my favorite stuff to talk about. So I'm going to nerd out a little bit more, but our nervous system is what helps us with our fight or flight response. And the opposite of fight or flight is rest or digest. So I'm sure all of us have heard fight or flight. Rest or digest isn't as popular, but two very standard understandings. They are associated with both our sympathetic nervous system and our autonomic nervous system. Oh my gosh. When we are in fight or flight, our body is going to do things to naturally protect itself. Our bodies inherently want to protect itself. That's why when you cut yourself, your body immediately starts sending white blood cells over to heal and create a scab. As simple as that, all the way to if we are in a very stressful situation, you might feel your body reduce hunger levels. You might feel your heart rate increase a bit so that you're more prepared to act quick if needed. It's going to start sending blood out to the extremities in any case that it needs to protect itself as well. So our fight or flight response is with our nervous system dysregulation, because we do not want to consistently live within fight or flight. Now, unfortunately, in this day and age, chronic stress is beyond all the trend these days. And I'm sure all of us on this call have dealt with periods of way too much stress in our life. And to bring this back to the ingredients, if y'all remember me saying some of the ingredients actually reduce cortisol levels. Cortisol is one of the main stress hormones within our system. Male or female, all of us will release cortisol when we are in a stressful environment or receive stressful stimulus. The benefit of reducing cortisol is it helps to bring us back to regulation, which is rest or digest. When it says rest or digest, of course, that means your body can be like, I can breathe, my shoulders can go down, I can start to eat comfortably again, I can relax. And when we get to regulate our nervous system, everything works so much more fluidly with each other. I will then bring that over to blood flow. Our body will send blood flow to very specific areas during fight or flight. When we are in rest and digest, our body just naturally flows blood flow wise. And when we talk about blood flow, healthy blood flow, or I should say typical blood flow, is what sends healthy fluids through our system. So blood flow is healing. Through all of our areas, blood flow helps to heal the body. So we want that, right? We want that to go through our system. And so many of the ingredients in Juice Plus Luminate not only help reduce cortisol levels, but also help to send oxygen and send healthy blood flow through our system. So not only is it giving us a little boost of energy, not only are we getting these moments of mental clarity or focus, but do we know that over a longer term, we know that our system is being nourished with the ability to come back to regulation. And I know all of us need that because stress is not fun, but it is nice when your body is actually working with you to come back to that regulation because it's not always easy for us to do it ourselves.
Oh, wow. That's a little deep for a Cajun boy like me, but I'm getting it. I'll tell you, this is some great information. Now, you know, what a lot of people don't know, you also have broken a world record in powerlifting and not only a great tennis player. So we talk a lot about professional athletes and collegiate athletes and part-time athletes, you know, what I call the weekend athlete, you know. So how can Luminate, along with the psychology, impact our performance in our daily activities, even if we're not professional athletes or high-level athletes like you are? How can it help, you feel?
Yeah, of course. So, in that last statement I said with the nervous system, I said when we are naturally stress ourselves, it's hard for us to always work with our body to come back to that regulation. And when we bring psychology into this, which some of this already previously was psychology, but when we start to bring the mind into it, on a daily basis, we are most often just running on routine, on overdrive, doing our thing, trying to get through the day. But when we incorporate Luminate into our day-to-day with our overall mindset, we know, like I said, it's going to be working with us. It's going to be working with our body, which then allows our mind to then focus more freely on a task at hand, at what we need to, and not worry as much about, let's say, the little things or overall stressors in the body itself. So, for example, when we are performing in any way, whether that's at the gym, whether you go to Pilates, whether you play tennis, whether you're just going for a walk, whatever your sport is, whatever you do to stay healthy, you are naturally putting your body under stress. That is what movement does, especially the higher levels that you achieve. You are just going to be putting your body under more stress to achieve whatever you're doing. And when you're at that point, what you want to focus on, hopefully, is the good at improving, at getting stronger, at feeling better, at moving better, whatever your goal may be. That's what you want to focus on. We don't want to focus on the things like the pain associated with, let's say, a joint's not feeling good. We don't want to associate with an upset stomach going into the day. We don't want to associate with the rest of our day that's just stressful. We want to focus on the task at hand. And Luminate, with helping to, I'm going to keep going back to blood flow, with sending blood flow to the brain, to the organs, everywhere, helps to heal the system and regulate it. And when we are also performing at a high level, but maintaining a level of regulation, then we can better focus on the task at hand, on the goal at hand, rather than our body putting ourselves in fight or flight and needing to then focus on the stressful stimulus associated.
Well, I have to mute out for a minute. I have some noise in the background because I'm sitting outside. So I hope I didn't disturb anyone, but this is so interesting. It really is. Now, what a lot of people don't know, and I want them to understand this, and I don't want to put you on the spot again, but you are really on fire with the business. You fell in love with the business aspect of the Juice Plus product line, and then the Luminate just kind of brought you to another level. So now I've got a business question for you. This is normal. The energy drink phase has gone ballistic. I mean, we walk into these retail grocery stores and convenience stores, and there's coolers with doors full and with dozens of energy drinks that are available. Now, what makes, and you've kind of answered this earlier because of your description of all the different products that illuminate the different plants. What makes this product so very different in your personal and professional opinion?
Okay, so coming from someone who has a lot of experience with energy drinks and pre-workout and Luminate specifically, not as much
A
coffee.
26-year-old and 20-year-olds. I mean, you guys, everywhere I go, the 20-year-olds have got an energy drink in their hand,
Oh
and
yeah.
we're in that game right now.
Yeah, when you walk into a gym specifically, if you don't have a shaker bottle of pre-workout or an energy drink in hand, it's almost weird. So, but that was me, I lived that phase. I went through an obsession with energy drinks. I went through an obsession with pre-workouts, and now I'm obsessed with Luminate. So, it's a progression. But when it comes to the difference, I energy drinks and pre-workout, because I've experienced them myself so much, they are built for a workout, maybe some sports, but I'm really going to relate this back to workouts just because that was my world. But they are built for that 1 to 2 hour time period that you need this.
Hope you're breaking up on me.
Oh my goodness. I'm not breaking up
Let's
on
see.
my side.
You're breaking up
You're
on me,
fine
so I
over
don't
here,
know.
Alexa. You're fine. Everybody else is
Perfect. Carrie, it's your problem.
Are you back?
yeah, she's back, Katie.
I was always here all
Yeah,
along.
seamless. Go
Thank
ahead.
you. Anyway, where was I? Okay, so
Real life.
pre-workout and energy drinks are going to be for that 1 to 2 hour period at the gym where you need that crazy boost of energy, that really sometimes insane focus, just for that 2 hours though. It is for the benefit of your workout specifically. When we go into Luminate, we the reason that I love it as an alternative is because it's not just for a workout. I use it for a workout myself, but it's for just day-to-day life. I'm a mom, and there are some days where when I don't get to go to the gym, I take it while my daughter's napping so that for my next little shift as a mom, I feel revitalized. I feel like I'm ready to go back on mom duty again. And that's not, I mean, it's a workout, don't get me wrong. I have a toddler, so it's definitely a workout, but it's not the same. And my husband, he will take it late at night and he'll actually make it hot so that he can get some work done before heading to bed. And he can still go to bed right afterwards, not having 200 plus milligrams of caffeine in his system. So it works for all day. And it works for the people who don't go to the gym, the people who are just wanting something that does more for you than just a boost of energy. This does so much more. I went into all the ingredients, the long-term benefits of this. And I will say the longer you take this, the better, because a lot of these ingredients, you'll notice benefits over consistent use. These aren't always going to be after a day, cool, everything's better. This is going to be after consistent use, you start to notice these. Pre-workouts and energy drinks, they don't have that. Usually they have more negative effects the longer you take them. And why would I not want to take something that I know is doing good for my body, helping regulate it, helping nourish it, but for the long term? I'm going to feel these benefits and feel them even more 6 months from now, a year from now. Hopefully, I'm still taking it 5 years from now. Gosh, I'm going to compound on these benefits rather than just take something for my present day. And like I said, all the benefits with how much they do compound, what they're actually doing for my body is doing more than I can always feel. Because what I like to say when it comes to symptoms or feelings, that's our body's last line of defense. Our body does so much internally before it tells us something externally. So you're not always going to feel what's happening. You can't feel your blood pressure lowering, for example. You can't feel that happening, but you'll definitely feel one day when you have high blood pressure, your body will start to tell you. So you don't always feel what's happening internally, but I know that long term, I'm going to actually start to truly notice on a day-to-day basis. Oh, wait, because I've been compounding on my consumption of Luminate, I'm actually feeling these things come to life rather than just internally, even though I can have that reassurance that I know they're starting to happen internally. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think we might have lost Carrie, but it's phenomenal to hear what you're saying, Alexa, because when we came out with Luminate, I remember Lisa Pebble talking about Juice Plus has been proven to show long-term benefit, and that's backed up by the research, right? And here you are tying basically the immediate benefit of Luminate with some long-term benefit that really ties into Juice Plus. Would that be a good, accurate way of saying it?
Oh, yes, of course.
This has been phenomenal. You know, your expertise and understanding, not only from a research standpoint in psychology, but also as a performing, accomplished athlete. And now as a mom, right? I know you and Conrad are doing a lot in the health and fitness arena, you know, and you got to be on game all the time, right? So
Yes,
it's key.
sure.
So it's good to hear you share that from the real life perspective. Any final thoughts you want to share with everybody on our call today?
Drink your Luminate today, and I guess if you don't have Luminate on hand today, make sure you have it on hand within the next week. Talk to whoever invited you, because I hope what I said, whether it was nerdy or not, I hope it impacted you in a certain way to think that this is something that genuinely would benefit your lifestyle, because it will. Until then, until you receive it in the mail or until you are taking it later today, do things to reduce stress in your life. A couple breathing exercises are always great for you. Getting outside and staring at the sun is amazing. Do things for you that reduce some of that stress, because the ingredients in Luminate do it. There are also some very simple things like getting outside and closing your eyes and taking a deep breath do as well. So do what you can to help re-regulate your system. I promise you, you will notice those benefits. But the Luminate, you'll notice it a little sooner.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Alexa, thank you very much for what you shared today. And you know, folks, this is our healthy living community. You join every Saturday or maybe every Monday night, and you get information like Alexa shared with us this morning. Go out and use that information. Take some action on it. And what she's sharing is from her own experience, but also backed up by the research we have now after 32 years with Juice Plus on the market. Luminate about 2 years. It was about 2 years ago we launched it. And here we are tying it into the benefits. So Alexa, thank you for sharing what you have this morning. Thank you for joining us so early and out in Arizona.
Oh, it's not too early. Don't worry. I just had to wake up a little earlier than my normal alarm, but I
So
am more than happy to be on.
that's awesome. Thank you very much. I'm going to go